Hello and welcome to What's in Store, brought to you this time from Wenbo's Japanese koi section. It's one of my favourite places to come if I ever have the urge to dig up vast areas of the garden with a mini digger. Lovely Japanese fish here and very inspiring, even for me, who's a tropical fish keeper who loves his barbs and bits and pieces indoors. But you can see the quality of the fish here and the size is really mind-blowing. So I'm filming a little bit of content which should showcase a bit more of the quality koi that we have here at the Wenbo store. But in the meantime, it was a great excuse to come out here, have a little look at some bits and pieces and show you the other tasty bits that I've seen in my travels. Enjoy.
Our hobby is full of examples of species that turn out to be something else after years of familiarity. Usually, this is due to mistaken identity, and it sometimes means that those of us who've been doing it for years find ourselves having to learn new names for old faces. As it doesn't really matter to the fish, you'd be forgiven for ignoring these changes and maybe even sticking to common names which don't have the same transient nature, even if they are prone to inaccuracies and confusion. Seeing a new colour form of the familiar giant danio, Divario Malibaricus, reminded me that this was a fish that's undergone a number of name changes over the years. They were in the genus Danio, when the smaller species such as zebras were in Brachydanio, then moved to Divario as Danio was applied to the fish that we previously knew as Brachydanio. Not only that, but the species that we thought we had was not Equipinatus, but Malibaricus, so should more accurately be called the Malabar Danio. This new colour form has popped up in a few places, but the fish in the video were seen at our Sanders store and should probably be called marbled Malabar Danios. Whatever you call them, they're a good choice for a spacious aquarium with cool water and plenty of water movement. Amongst the plethora of plex that have found popularity in the hobby are the black and white beauties in the genus Hypancistrus. Usually found with spots or stripes, these small insectivorous catfish like warm temperatures, high oxygen levels, which don't often go hand in hand, and a meaty diet. With so many species awaiting scientific description, there's a number of similar L numbers that might end up being the same species. For now, fishes like these king tigerplex, Hypancistrus species L66, at our Reefkeeper Moss End store have to make do with common names and code numbers. Although they might not be everybody's cup of tea, it's safe to say that fancy goldfish make great pets when properly kept. These are big, messy fish that need large, well-filtered tanks as they grow, together with large partial water changes. There's a long list of fishes that are far easier to keep and more suitable for small aquaria, especially if you're considering them as pets for children. On the plus side, goldfish are long-lived, and when kept properly should outlast a dog or a cat, easily getting a couple of decades or more old. These tricolour orandas at our Cirencester store were recently arrived but were as friendly and confident as you'd expect given their long history of domestication. Like all animals bred to be pets, they know the deal, and that's part of the charm of fancy goldfish, together with their often unique looks and personalities. There's a large selection of stunning saltwater shrimps available, but one of the most popular earns its keep by consuming pest anemones. Although coming from a genus where the family business is usually cleaning parasites from reef fish, the peppermint shrimp, Lismata werdemani, rose to fame thanks to its appetite for aptasia. Unlike the more boldly patterned cleaners, peppermints tend to be more shy and like to hang out in shady overhangs in brightly lit reef conditions. As they're small animals, you might need a large number if you have a lot of pest anemones, which might lead to some hungry shrimps when the job is done. Make sure they remain well fed to reduce the likelihood of them sampling other types of coral. Despite the name, they don't taste of peppermint at all, just in case you were curious. This batch was seen at our Leicester store. Butterfly fishes are a diverse bunch, with species that will happily devour anything from flake food to carpet anemones, contrasting with specialists that only feed on live polyps of certain SPS corals. Some of these fish should of course be left on the reef, whereas others are a great choice for the right setup. Bannerfishes have been kept in marine aquaria for years, and there's two hardy species which can be expected to thrive in captivity. Telling them apart can be difficult, but the schooling bannerfish, Heniochus difrutis, like this group at our Reading store, is a sociable planktivore that is one of the most reef-safe of its kind as long as it remains well fed. The long-fin bannerfish, Heniochus acuminatus, is far more destructive and happily chomps on a wide range of corals.